Kimberly, thank you very, very much. That's Buju with energy. All he needs is inner strength to get moving and get things happening. Thank you so much for staying with us. Your passionate, trustworthy, conversational radio, 95.1 Nigeria Info. You just wrapped up with the vocal majesty at Diorama 1 of Nigeria Info, Swat Adalumo, that is. Well, this is where I come in and officially welcome you to Hard Facts. It gets intense, yes it does. However, we still find a way to let our hair down and have a great, amazing, fantastic conversation. And I'm super excited that you joined the show today. And I hope you're going to tag with me from now to 7 p.m. Promise? All right, thank you for making that promise. Because I'll be here till 7. And it's going to be a back-to-back conversation. Yesterday, we're meant to speak with Mr. Benson Upa, who is the head of information media for the Nigerian Labour Congress. However, he was called away for something else, and he'll be joining us via telephone by 5 o'clock to just get to understand the position of the NLC. And as usual, we'll start off with the roundtable, taking a look at some of the big stories driving conversation in the country. But let's start off first with the update concerning Naira abuse and mutilation. We know at least 2 people who have been convicted for abuse of the Naira. One of them, as a matter of fact, is still in prison, talking about Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bob Risky. And Cubana Chief Priest is also one who is going through the trial at the moment. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and Cubana Chief Priest are said to be exploring an out-of-court settlement for the Naira abuse case against the nightlife promoter. Cubana arrived at the Federal High Court, Ikori, Lagos today for the continuation of his trial. And on the 16th of April, you recall, the EFCC filed a 3-count charge against him over alleged Naira abuse. He was arraigned the following day when the charges were read. The social media celebrity pleaded not guilty. Now, Kehinde Ogundare, the judge, thereafter granted him bail in the sum of 10 million naira with 2 responsible sureties in like sum. The judge ruled that the bail condition must be perfected within 7 days, and Cubana was released to his lawyer, who must give an undertaking to produce him later. The trial was adjourned to the 2nd of May, which is today. Now, during the sitting, the judge, the defendant lawyer, told Ogunlari that they are applying that the matter be settled according to the provision of Section 14, subsection 2 of the EFCC Act. The status today is that we're settling. We've applied to the prosecution, the EFCC, that the matter be settled according to Section 14, subsection 2 of the EFCC Establishment Act, which enables them to compound offences in the interest of justice, Ojukwu said. And if the prosecution confirmed that that is the position, we'll now, in light of that reconciliatory spirit, try to withdraw our preliminary objection or allow them to consider application for compounding offence. On her part, Bilkisu Buhari, the FCC prosecutor, confirmed Ojukwu's position and told the court that the anti-graft agency was still considering the application. So, the social media celebrity is well known for his luxurious lifestyle. He's also known for his affiliation with a number of artists, and he serves as the general manager of Cubana Groups, who left the brand in 2020 and established his own club somewhere in Owerri. So we'll get to see how this pans out of court settlement over Naira abuse. Could be a win-win for everyone, and a lesson learned also for not just Chief Priest Cubana, but for every single person to treat the Naira with dignity. Well, I bet if Idris Okuneye's lawyer knew any better, they perhaps would have gone this route, pleaded not guilty, and, scout through the rule books and the act to see if they could negotiate a better deal for him. But he's in prison. And one person said not guilty and not in prison. It's interesting how, the law operates. So you just need to know and get bright minds, sound lawyers to argue some of these cases for you. But it's a good day to remind you not to mutilate the Naira, not to abuse the Naira. And remember, selling of the Naira on its own is also an offense. Those of you who carry bundles of it and sell, they say that's a problem. It's a part of it, and you might want to watch it so that you don't end up settling out of court or ending up in prison. I just thought to be magnanimous enough to start the show and share that with you. My name is Kimberly. What you could call me Kim, the Oracle, the digital Oracle, that is OTF, the fellow, or Chanya One, Madam Speaker. I will say yes, yes, yes to them all. Let's get started looking at some of the big stories driving conversation. And just so you know, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Facebook is at Nigeria Info Abuja. YouTube is at Nigeria Info Abuja. And you can leave us thought and comment on Twitter. I will make sure I go to Twitter today to see if there are any comments coming in. Our Twitter handle is at Nigeria Info Abuja. And yes, you can follow us on Instagram, which is at Nigeria Info FM Abuja. You get the difference? All right, then. Our phone numbers are 080 999-30137. That number is also our WhatsApp number where you can send in messages or call via WhatsApp. Or you can call us on 0700 951 0000 or 0809 5974869. Okay, I think I gave you pretty much all the tools that you need to walk through the show today as we start off. All right, then. Let's go back to where the Labour stands, even though we're talking in detail with the information officer of the NLC. But when it comes to the Labour Union, they are not settled yet with what the government is proposing, advancing addition of pay for workers as to announcing the new minimum wage, which will cut across, the entire country and will be backed by the, legal framework, provisions where you can enforce it at state level, demand it at, organizations to private sector to saying, this is the new national minimum wage. But with this just blanket of saying, okay, increase salaries between 25 to 35% based on your salary structure. Somebody was saying a minimum wage earner of 30,000. What you'll be getting tops if they're using the 35%, which I pretty much doubt someone on the minimum wage level will be getting that high, will be like 10,000 thereabout. So it brings it to about 40 thereabout, which is still pretty abysmal. Remember, we talked about it, but instead I added 10,000 and the workers are like, nope, work. This isn't it at all. What can you really do with an extra 10,000 naira for the month? So the Labour has said it wants the sum of 615,000 as minimum wage, and they have given the government, a new deadline for the new minimum wage. They gave the federal government the deadline of the last day of this month of May, the 31st, to come up with a new national minimum wage. And it was given despite the decision of the federal government to increase salaries of civil servants by between 25 to 35%. The federal government also approved an increase of between 20 and 28% for pensioners on the defined benefit scheme with respect to the 6 consolidated salary structures. The implementation of the new salary structure was backdated to the 1st of January 2024. So it means that order 35K that the government was giving workers would have expired by then. Abi, you guys have finished collecting it as at the 1st of January. Or is that one coming in addition to this? Because don't get used to too much coming at once, and when it stops, you'll be like, what? What happened? Labour is saying 615 and they're giving the government the 31st. Let's see if it will be possible for that negotiation to happen before and have it all resolved and implemented before the 31st of this month, knowing how topsy-turvy it's been, back and forth. Labour says one thing, the negotiators on the part of the government are saying something else. They've not been able to see eye to eye to agree on what the suitable living wage will be, even though the federal government says they are committed to a living wage for Nigeria. That is what the president said on Workers' Day, committed to a living wage. So they are still working on it, and it's left for us to see what translates to a living wage at the end of the day. Do you think all the committees set up would be able to arrive at something acceptable to all sides and you by the 31st of May? Well, that's one important story also to look at on the show today. And seeing that I don't have a guest with me, I'll leave the phone lines open. If you want to chip in, feel free to call in as we look at more stories. I've given you the numbers and you know how to get in touch. Hello. Yes, you're welcome.
I agree to all this.
Go ahead, Okwi.
My own take is on Nigerian Labour Congress. That 15,000 naira is not enough. It should be 1.2 million or 1.5. I'm not the one that decides for them, but if I 1.2 million or 1.5, because the increment of they have told us that they remove subsidy. That's 500 naira. Now, how much are they selling for now? Some places they are selling 1,000. Some places 800. Some places 750 naira. This is, if government did not increase for them, would they increase for Nigeria market? So that 650 naira is not enough. That will increase to 1.2 million or 1.5. Yes. Have another derivation. God bless you.
All right. If it makes you happy. Okay. All right, then. So that is Okwi. And what is suggesting that you be increased to? Do we say this thinking about the resultant effect of that astronomical increase? I mean, do you know what will respond to that increase that is going to just less than what is the government workforce even make up to 5% of workers in Nigeria? Really? I need to factor out the percentage. So if you're saying a tiny fraction of people earns that high, and we know how things respond to things, before you know it, the inflation kicks in, price of food, price of transport goes into a change that affects only a tiny fraction of people, because how many private organizations can actually afford what you're talking about? Remember that when you come up with a minimum wage, you're not just thinking of people who work with the federal government and big agencies and parastatals that can actually afford it or have a dedicated source where it comes in from. You have to think about the bigger picture of the fact that it has to be implemented across board down to local government level, states, and even private businesses who by law are mandated to. Let's go on a quick break.
So of Pepsi. But that's not all, guys. Eat Right is here with Hafi, Saudi Arabia's biggest fast food restaurant with over 37 years of success serving customers across major cities in the world.
That's right. Eat Right and Hafi.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
In conversation, we did mention that on the Naira abuse case, EFCC Cubana chief praised to settle out of court. We're waiting to see how the EFCC responds to that, to settling that. And we also brought in the increase in salary, which is not the new minimum wage, by the way. It's just the federal government as a placeholder saying increase between this percentage to this percentage for people in different salary structure and categories until we're able to figure out what will make for the perfect living wage for Nigerians. And the NLC is saying this is mischievous. What we need is a minimum wage. And they are recommending 615,000 as the minimum wage. Is that even realistic, really? And it sounds good to the ears, but is it doable? That's a big question. All right, let's look at another story. And I'm sure a lot of you must have responded to this also earlier on, where the Lagos State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, yesterday said the government discovered an apartment under the Dolphin Estate Bridge, Ikoyi, where tenants pay as high as 250,000 naira annual rent. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot for people in Abuja because you pay, cutthroat price for your rent. However, they are paying this to live under a bridge. Shacks were created under the bridge and people were living there and paying this rent. So it paints a picture of the housing challenge that we're grappling with in the country. According to the commissioner, the under-bridge apartment has 86 partition rooms sized 10 by 10 and 12 by 10. Wahab shared the information via a post on X on Wednesday along with videos and added that the enforcement team of Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources had successfully removed all structures, including a container utilized for various illegal activities from beneath the Dolphin Estate Bridge. Sharing the video, the commissioner wrote a total number of 86 rooms partitioned into 10 by 10 and 12 by 10, and a container used for different activities were discovered under the Dolphin Estate Bridge. Discovered as if, all of a sudden it just appeared, like it's not been there for years or for a while, for people to pay annual rent. It's a different thing if people are coming to pay per day. And let me just crash here. But people have taken it and bought furnitures as much as the 10 by 10 and 12 by 10 can take. Before it hits everyone, they're like, oh dear, this is an eyesore. This is a breeding ground for more crimes and or whatnot. And they have sent the people there, about 86 rooms. So think about the number of people who are displaced and perhaps might be thinking of creating another, shack under another bridge in another part of Lagos. They said they've been removed by the law enforcement team of Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. And a special advisor to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Kunle Rotimi Akodu, further confirmed the eviction of these illegal settlers from beneath the bridge towards Dolphin Estate in Ikoyi. It said 23 individuals were arrested during the eviction, which was carried out by official of Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, popularly known as KAI, on Tuesday, that the squatters dwelling under the bridge leading inward Dolphin Estate were evicted Tuesday, by officials of Las Gets KAI. The people created their illegal settlement under the bridge, thereby exposing the critical infrastructure to impending destruction. That's another thing to take home, because you're compromising the integrity of the bridge when you start to build things that shouldn't be under it. 23 people so far been arrested, and they will continue to monitor the place. Perhaps these 23 people are the ones who've constituted, landlord powers and conferred it upon themselves and charging people for a land they have not legally acquired. They do not have the documents to even support what they're doing. You just go and see the space under the bridge. You're like, okay, let's build 2 by 2. I'm sure it's there with a few squatters sleeping under. The next thing, let me just put a little shade for the rain. And next thing, let me just cover it since nobody has harassed me. Next thing, let me just buy a mattress and put there. And comfy. I could make it a 2-bed. And next thing, you're subletting the second bed. And before you know it, you've created an estate under a bridge and you're collecting 250 grand. Boy, oh boy, at that point in time, it's what arresting and interrogating. So you just do not start building and charging people where you are not authorized to. But I mean, it also tells you the desperation of people. They know very well that they're not meant to be there, but perhaps they have very little choice. And some people just need a place to lay their heads and be out the door the next day for their hustle. These are the realities we grapple with. And it's not just in Nigeria, just to know, even the big cities in the world, not all big cities. Some big cities do not have much of this. But yeah, I mean, you go to places and you find slums, you find people who are out on the street. It is a common sight to find in certain places. And even the government of those places are ensuring that they keep their streets clean. Half the time, those people, like in some of the Western countries, it's a function of drugs and, their homelessness, maybe no jobs or something. But this one, even the ones who can hustle safe, we perhaps cannot afford the number of coins required to pay for a decent accommodation. Let's go back to the phone line, shall we? Get more of your thoughts on the story. 0700 951 0000 089 009-5974-869, or just call via WhatsApp. So do we have any under bridge here in the federal capital, anywhere you're aware that people are paying rent under any bridge, close to any estate that we should point authorities to? You can talk to us. Hello? Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. You go get answer now. You know where they call it garden for zone 3?
No, not precisely. I know Zone 3, but I don't know what they call.
Plaza.
Okay. Yeah.
That traffic light, when you think it's all right, you go to NAFDAC, you turn left, you go zone 1. There is a bridge facing you there that is connecting that zone 1. Under that bridge. Yeah. If you go there, restaurant today, plenty people sleep there. But from after you won't do. You go to Banner side, between you places and the Yoruba Mosque, bridge, go there. Complete furniture workshop, including politicians, they go make furniture for that place. Go there and you go to Lagos, so my. You put Abuja here. Now people they go there, they collect rent for those things. What do you have? Today I want to is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, 3rd of May.
If they go carry Canada, so that you go and confirm.
All right. Thank you very much. Interesting. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My name is Emmanuel, first-time caller.
First-time caller, Emmanuel, you say?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the minimum wage.
What are you saying, sir? Oh, dear. Your network is really bad. Please call back. Or you can just simply call via WhatsApp, and we'll gladly take it up from there. Our WhatsApp number to call via WhatsApp is 0809 9930137. Hello?
Good afternoon, Speaker.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Sunday.
Sunday, we're listening.
Yes, Mama. Yeah. I bet you this minimum which the government pays, it will never see the light of the day.
Well, this is not minimum wage, sir. It's just an increase.
The increase would never see the light of the day.
You think the government is not going to pay it? That's what you're
They
saying.
won't pay. I'm telling you, this is coin. It's not money, coin.
No, okay, let's not go there. But yeah, you insist they're not going to pay.
They won't pay.
Why? Is it because it took a while to even pay the palliative 35 that was increased? Is it coming from that?
They don't have food. Kim, let me just tell you the truth. These people don't have one single food in their mouth. Believe me, the government of today are putting us in the dark. That even in the dark, we cannot feel anything. That's not leadership. How long are we going to go like that? People are dying of hunger, no home, no work. What kind of country is this that we live in? And it's just few people that is making us suffer like this. They're not up to 10%. Oh my God. God should help us. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see who this caller is. Oops. And it dropped. Have you guys been having this call drop problem all day? Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm all right. And you?
I'm fine. My name is Comrade Salis on the line.
Go ahead, comrade.
Yeah, for me, for this minimum wage, I want to give you an example. Where I worked before, I worked 2-3 companies. One company when I worked, the white man that come from China, I can say, so the man is operator like he work as a grade operator, is a crane operator, like as I operate crane, I operate data and establish all of them. So the man will come, as you are working, I'm receiving salary with my overtime, everything. I will not get more than 150 at that time. But you know how much this man receives? Immediately come, they take this operator to my head. I turn to my master. He now be supervisor control the road, have a convoy. Police is following him, and they have his car where police is following him, and he was very secure. And he's collect 2 million in a month, and every week he collect 100,000 for bonus. When he's coming to me, collect data, we work together. He's laughing at me. Yeah, this country, I know that it's when they talk to me and I say, I'm suffering. No, why is the same news are working together? The same one I'm using is using. We work together. But see what is happening in the country. They are not helping us at all. The minimum wage is very poor in the country. When you have a good government, until they tell anybody, the government to help you to do it, they need to. They want to do it by themselves. It's not about labor to talk to them. This country, the government will have, they don't want help. They don't want the workers to achieve anything. They want to be poor forever, and where them they are looking at money to take our money to enjoy it with their family. So that's what is happening. Unless the labor, I want people workers to join labor. If they don't want to listen to us, let them go down everything. Even when it's taken to 1 month, take what they want to see, they let everything happen. That they know that we are serious. These leaders, they are not taking us serious at all. They are looking at us that we are just quiet. Anything we do, they cannot do anything. And they know Nigeria is a peaceful country. They want to use that place to destroy, to do anything they like. It's very bad.
All right.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, Oluwatun.
Welcome to the show.
Sorry, greet you. Well done.
Thank you very much.
This is Engineer Ola calling from Abuja.
Good to hear your voice.
Thank you, my sister. Yeah, I was just, I missed your show yesterday. My brother, who always gives us some very wonderful analysis. I was following, you can't follow people on YouTube. I just listened to the first part of the conversation. And Sister King, if you go back to that conversation that man had yesterday, you will know that we are not serious in this country. Our leaders don't take us, sorry to use this word, they don't take us like a human. They only take us as a human when it comes to the time of election. The moment the election is over, we are nothing to them. And people fail, my fellow Nigerians fail to realize it. And that is why you see the man talking about a labor movement or getting into it like this political something, so that Nigerian people can truly control, can truly be in charge of Nigeria. If I tell you the place I just come back from travel, where our president come from, if I tell you the nickname that some people were calling him on the street, you will be, I can't say it on radio because I know the rules. It is funny. It's not funny, because a lot of people already know. And if you talk, I took my time to talk to some people. They were telling us that we don't vote him. It's people that vote him. We don't vote him here. So people should not blame us for anything that is happening. You understand? See, Sister King, when Dr. Mojid was talking about the issue of minimum wage, how do you feel when he was talking about the analysis of compared to other countries? We are talking about minimum wage. There was a time when this guy was talking about living wage, showering. He said that is not a minimum wage. He said he doesn't even know. He call it a slave wage.
Poverty wage.
That is slave wage. To keep on, do you know how much they are selling things now, Saki? Do you know how much they are selling food stuff? As in, I'm using myself to be like an example of the expenses I go to. That was on Tuesday, or I think that was on Tuesday. Yes, on Tuesday or Monday. That I go through. I was now comparing somebody who is earning 30,000 naira. And Sakim, let me tell you, there are some people that see earning like 15,000 naira in this country, 10,000 naira in this country. Do you know? I was now wondering that how are they surviving? How are they coping? How? Sakim, if any of my workers come to work, before you go home, before I say maybe I'm bragging, before you go home, I have to look for about 5,000 naira for transport for that person for that day. I'm not talking about this money for the work and everything. I have to look for like 5K just for transport. I know we have a government that is talking about we'll give you social, we'll give you peanuts, we'll give you this. And if they want to do something, when they were talking about this Calabar Coastal Highway, that is not emergency, that is not necessary. Everybody keep on talking. You say there is no money. So I am backing on a project that even for people, yes, the project might be good, but in the long run, not now that you are complaining about phones and then you cannot take care of your people. Mr. King,
all right.
There's no monkey to go market. One day, go come back. That's where we are going to gradually. I'm telling you,
all right.
It's not funny. Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for that, Engineer. I see someone waiting on WhatsApp. Let's get to this caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Madam Speaker.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name?
Biala Ode, aka Positive vibration.
All right, positive vibration. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, Lagos never ceases to disappoint us in terms of, the business angle things. Even under the bridge, people are still thinking business. Just listening to you open that story, I was just, one part of me was laughing because, you see, we live in a country where a whole lot is not planned. And that is a reflection in everything that we do. I'm just, I'm just saying, we do a lot of demolition, for instance, because a lot of our cities are not planned. And there's so much deficit to the point that you don't even know what government wants to do. So sometimes people who have high business mind can just take advantage of the very low condition of other people to make some bucks for themselves. Because, I'm just wondering, the gods, the impetus that individual or group of individuals had. I mean, who can who can show dominance under a bridge? It's owned by the government. Somebody went set up, buildings and started cashing out. So it is because we failed to plan. We need to plan out our lives. We need to plan our cities. We need to plan everything so that people cannot continue to take advantage of other people who are already in the lowest ebb of society. So I think our government needs to do more, and the future generation, the younger people coming up, we need to now learn from what these old people have done. A lot of people are just waiting to get into government to steal money, but we need to now look at how these former leaders have failed, and things when it gets to our turn, we need to start really drawing from. And before we talk about anything, it's just my take on the matter.
All right.
Have a pleasant deliberation.
Thank you very much for lending your voice to our discourse this afternoon. And let me see what the comments are on Facebook and YouTube. Remember, it's at Nigeria Info Abuja. Hi, Senator Lucio, Felix, I see you. Smith, Ken, increase in wages in the panacea to the average Nigerian workers, but a workable system, effective inflation control mechanism is all that is needed right now. Williams Jr., we see you also. Brown Trendy, from my little studies, a livable wage is around 460,000 naira, with the value of the naira today waging it against a few countries' minimum wage. Noble Okpokiri said they should fight for health insurance, subsidized housing, transportation, education, water, electricity, referring to the NLC, what the clamor should be about this time. Mr. Farikwe says, that's a nice one, Oluwakim, all right. He's known for calling me that way. How did NLC arrive at the proposed new minimum wage? We need to be informed. How much was $1 to naira when the current wage was approved? And what is the exchange rate now? What is the percentage of increase? What should be the first criterion for determining the salary increase? The second condition is how much was a liter of petrol when the current minimum wage was fixed, and how much is it now? What is the percentage of the difference? That is what the federal government, state government, NLC, TUC should use to determine the salary increase. Jimmy Odeni from Airport Road. Ambassador Chubi from Suleja says no amount is too much for civil servants regarding minimum wage or living wage, and I don't see any reason for more inflation. Already, inflation rate is too high, and for more than 6 years, the government workers are still receiving same salary despite the astronomical increase of fuel, food items, and other services. I bet you're a civil servant. My question is, who is collecting the rent? It's good they got rid of them. If your car breaks down there at night, you can imagine what happens, says Bobby from Lukogoma. Oh, yes, you can. But then, I'm sure there will be some honest-to-God people who don't have a choice but to live there. Can't be all criminals, can they?
Hello?
Yes, you're welcome.
Hello?
Yes. What's your name?
Good afternoon. My name is Jerry.
We're listening, Jerry.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah. My take is on for the tenant they go and discover in a bridge in Lagos. Hello?
Jerry, if you can hear us, why not just drop the call and call back? so that we don't keep doing the hello, hello, can you hear me back? Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Jake, I'm calling from Newcastle.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Madam King, I want to ask you a question.
Shoot.
Is the president trying to increase salary, or he wants to peg a new minimum wage? What is it?
Well, he just increased it. They're still deliberating on the minimum wage. And that's why the NLC says a little bit mischievous, because what are you doing? We're negotiating on the minimum wage, which is long overdue since sometime in April, and you're increasing what?
So
it's not well defined.
I think I am with the NSC on this one. I don't see the need of increasing salary whereby they are due for new minimum wage. So if the president really have the interest of these Nigerian workers at hand, I think he should just come out and just announce the new minimum wage. And this increase that they are doing, some states currently cannot even afford to pay 30,000 naira as minimum wage. So let's say the state that cannot afford 30,000 naira, how much will they increase? Let's say they are paying 25,000. Is it 5,000 that they will add to their workers? No. And I equally think that it is high time that Nigerian Labour Congress demand for good governance. I think Nigeria is overripe to have everything that makes life livable. For instance, constant water supply, constant electricity, good road, good hospital, good schools for everyone, and secondly, finally, justice for all. I think one of the biggest problems for Nigeria is corruption. And if at all we can push corruption away from Nigeria and the government do the right thing, I think Nigeria will get it right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Let's hear another caller. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Welcome. Good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Emeka. I'm from Garimpa.
All right, go ahead, Emeka.
Yeah, I just got back from and learned this program is on and set to call. First of all, the labor union knew or ought to know that above 500 is unrealistic. Maybe 30,000. Some governors, about half of the governors have not paid or are yet to pay or cannot pay 30,000. And now you are raising the minimum wage. You are agitating for 650. When you have the news that this 600 is unrealistic, so they should say something that is realistic. I'm not saying that the worker does not deserve his wage. I know that the worker deserves his wages, but they should just come down so that government can. Because if you're making it, are they trying to make the government afraid or something? I don't understand. 615,000, and then in the issue of Lagos this and other houses on that bridge, it means that the Lagos State environmental department have not been doing their job. It means they sat down at their offices and then wait for information, probably from online or from whatever. If they were doing their job, they should have discovered that earlier or before now. You see in Abuja here, you see some buildings. Once they start building, they will mark it red. If the building is suspicious or is not in line with the developmental plan, they will mark it red. Any part of Abuja you build it, even if you go to under the hole and build it, they will come and mark it red. It means that these people are going about their working and they're doing. But these ones, are they? What do they think? What are they thinking? Now people have paid 250,000. Now we displace them. Some are homeless now. Where do you want them to go? Of course, they will still look for another on that bridge places, because that's where will they stay? It's still under one of the bridges in Lagos. So they should be upgrading their jobs so that prevention is better than cure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And talking about this minimum wage, for those who are tempted to argue that no, all states are paying minimum wage, as at last year, I know civil society organization NLC TUC in different states have written several letters to state governors demanding that they fully implement the 30,000 naira minimum wage because they were not paying them. Even as at, was it yesterday, they were still begging Gombe State minimum wage, implement it, pay it. River, Gombe, Benue, Ogun, other chapters, okay, of either NSOTC confirmed that written to their state governors, Kwara State, Osun State, Ondo, Niger, Katsina, Bayelsa, Kebbi, Delta, to fully implement the new minimum wage as at that time. So you get okay. So you get states that, either they pay a percentage of it or something and not frequently, and that's real. And so NLC should work with all of this information to ensure that if you're going to meet these states who were struggling with 30,000 naira minimum wage, to come up with 615,000, it sounds a bit comical at this point in time. Yes, you say Nigeria has got the resources and all of that. Considering our debt level, considering lots of things, and understanding that minimum wage, once it's announced and, comes into effect, it's not just for government workers. You expected that even the private sector is going to implement new minimum wage also. So this conversation, yes, NLC is speaking for their constituency.
Yeah, good afternoon.
But it goes beyond them. Hello?
Yeah. My name is Jerry.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, my take is on the people that are sleeping under the bridge in Lagos. All those people is a policy from the government that causes it. Look at what's about to happen now. $15 trillion spent coastal line from Lagos to Calabar. Why not carry this on some of this money, build a port, Calabar port, build on a port, so that more people will be going to other these states, like Calabar or River State. Disregard all these things. To carry some of CBN office, go Lagos. Lagos will give you a job, and go so we collect it. The government know what they are doing. That's why we are shouting marginalization from Lagos to Calabar. If you take it, the two-thirds of that road belong to South and Southeast. Build the people today. You understand? First will be open collect a container from Lagos, all the way from Lagos, going down to Calabar or Anambra or Delta. Why? Open port so that more people will be going other states, clearing their goods. I'm doing some legitimate business. You want to jump everybody to Lagos, building a coastal line. What of the West East Road? They just make everything. Economic plan is zero. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello?
Hello, good morning. Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
How's everything?
Going pretty well.
I'm Sunday calling from Kuje.
We're listening Sunday.
I think the level have not been quite serious or sincere with their demands. What I expected from the level is to talk about our refineries. If our refineries are working and the price of fuel drop, I think the salary around a minimum wage around 80,000 or 100,000 would be more better. But if you increase out 600,000, now who is able to? All those companies, nobody will be able to pay the money. All what we do is that all those people own the company, they will shut them down because they can't pay their workers. So what are they trying to achieve with such? So I think they should try and be sincere with the reality on ground.
All right then. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello. Kimberly,
you're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Donato is calling from Niger State.
We're listening.
Kimberly, this minimum wage of 600 and something, they are not going to implement it. Therefore, are just wasting time. If I may ask, these people leading us to or ruling us, is this the condition they face during their own time? Some of them go to missionary school free of charge. I don't think that their parents spend up to 200,000 for primary school to university level. Some of them, in my own place, community contributes money, those things. You see that they pay you up to abroad. It's no longer like that. Even though they should pay 640,000, in the other way, they will still collect that money.
I'm telling you, if you're not taking there's a tax our father used to pay those days. If you want to travel, he will be looking for his tax clearance before getting to the charge. If not, they will arrest you and force you to pay those tax. I believe the APC government are going to introduce all those things. So for me, I think the level should just do the right thing. The level should do the right thing. People are passing many things. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And what is the right thing that you think they should be doing? You didn't quite mention that. Let's look at some more comments. James Kemei. Good afternoon, Digital Oracle. For minimum wage demand by labor, it's not realistic, and it should be reminded that government workers constitute just a percentage of the population. What is the fate of the private workers and non-working class at this point in time? Stephen Trust Duru, we see you also. Thank you very much for your message. Noble Okpokiri, let the price of food crash, fuel price reduce automatically. Life would be easier for everyone with the minimum wage. Bobby, I read your message in now. I hail Nigeria Info. My 50 cents on the minimum wage and inflation when it comes to the bottom billion. Even fellow ordinary Nigerians scream inflation, but they shush at the crazy pay of political office holders. The seen and unseen million do not cause inflation. Abi, what a country. This disequilibrium is unacceptable, said Prince Okifo Federal Housing, Lube. And what do we call the salary increase? Our lawmakers earn so much that we don't even have an idea of the exact remuneration they are receiving. This is why they don't want to cut down cost of governance. How can the government come up with 30% increase, that amount to about 40,000 minimum wage? These politicians are taking us for a ride. God bless Nigeria. Wale George from Kado in Abuja. And Andy Chudi. No amount is too much for civil servants regarding the minimum wage, and I don't see any reason for inflation. I think you sent that one earlier on and we read it. Let's go for the news.
Back to back and back on your biggest one station talk, on your number one station talk, Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.